Hello. So this is I don't know if I've made a video about this previously, but just in case, a video on how I've managed to remember to do things and schedule things with my ADHD. For those of you who don't know, I have cerebral palsy, inattentive ADHD, depression, and anxiety. So those are the things so far that I've been officially diagnosed with. I'm pretty sure there are other things, but with the inattentive ADHD, it makes it really hard to remember things like appointments and even quizzes and exams. Like this past semester, I missed a quiz because I forgot when it was due. And by the time I remembered the quiz, it was online and it had already been closed. So, anyway, um, I have tried just about everything to remember things. I've tried calendars and agendas, and I even have, like, you can see behind me, I have a whiteboard with a calendar on it. I tried the little cork board with the sticky notes, and nothing has worked for me. And part of the reason for that is because I'll write the stuff down, like you'll see stuff is written down in the calendar behind me, but I'll forget to look at it, which kind of defeats the purpose of writing that stuff down in the first place. And don't even get me started on writing things down in an agenda, because not only will I not carry it around with me, but I'll lose it. And so, yeah. One thing that I have found, though, that has been working for me so far is setting reminders on my phone. So I have an iPhone, but I'm sure this will work with an Android as well. And the trick is to remind yourself as soon as you know you have an appointment or a class or whatever. Because, like, for example, I make custom t-shirts, right? So whenever a customer gets in contact with me and they'll say, oh, I want, a medium t-shirt with this logo and I need it by December the 3rd. So then immediately after I hang up that phone call or stop talking to the customer, I will just go ahead and talk to Siri and say something like, hey Siri, remind me tomorrow that I have to make a custom t-shirt for December 3rd.
Done.
Okay, and so you'll see that the lighting is really bad because I'm recording this with my computer. But what it does basically is it sets the reminder, and it doesn't have an alarm, so it doesn't remind me with an alarm, but it does show up on my screen. So it, like, pops up on my screen when I lock my screen and then go to use my phone again. The reminders will be right there on my notifications. They'll be like the first thing that shows up. And that's really helpful because I'm on my phone a lot. And so every time that I go to unlock my phone to use it or to scroll through social media, the first thing that will show up on my screen are the notifications or like pending events, etc. But I don't know what is going on with the lighting on my laptop's camera, but it's kind of weird. Anyway, so that has been super, super helpful because I make sure not to swipe right. So, like, when you swipe it or you click clear, that's typically when you've already completed the task. So what I do is I make sure not to swipe it and just leave it there. So if I don't get it done the first time that I see the notification on there, next time I go to use my phone, it'll still be on there. So it's kind of like having, like, an accountability buddy, but on your phone. And to me, that this is ideal because I carry my phone with me everywhere I go, and I know very few people who aren't on their phone or looking at their phone most of the day for whatever reason. And then another thing that has worked is to have it remind you, like, I don't know, depending on how early you want it to remind you. Like, if you have an appointment tomorrow at 3 p.m., I'll have her remind me like 2 hours earlier. Like, remind me dentist appointment tomorrow at 1 p.m. and that way I will remember before the appointment and I won't have to be rushing, to get ready because I forgot. So that's another helpful tip, I guess, to if it's like an appointment or a time sensitive thing, you typically would want to set the reminder for maybe a couple hours or even a day before the event. And that has been really helpful. I do wish that it would just speak the reminders out loud to me. It won't do that unless you tell it. You specifically tell Siri to read your reminder list to you and it'll read it out loud. But I think Alexa does like speak your reminders to you if you want it to. I don't know because I don't have an Alexa, but that's what I've heard anyway. Um, so yeah, so this, like I said, has been super helpful for me. So if you have ADHD or maybe if you're just forgetful and you find that calendars and sticky notes and agendas just have not worked for you, because they haven't worked for me, then give this a try and let me know if you've tried it, if you've found it helpful, and if you have any other methods of remembering to do things. Like, I use it for the most trivial things sometimes. Like, um, it's typical of people with ADHD to, for example, have clothes in the washer and then forget to put it in the dryer. So even things like that. I'll put clothes in the washer and then I'll just say, "Hey Siri, remind me to put the clothes in the dryer in 30 minutes or whatever the time frame is." And that I have found that really, really helpful. But again, one of the tricks is to remind yourself immediately after you have to do something, because if you leave it off, then you will forget. Like, I know that I do. And so I don't know why I haven't started doing this for my medication. I really should because I've been forgetting to take it recently. But anyway, yeah, so that was my helpful ADHD tip for the day.